Hey, happy Tuesday, everybody. I'm following up on my conversation yesterday we had about did you have a manic or momentous Monday? If you missed that, go back yesterday. I had a live. I love to get your comments, and there's some good feedback and interaction. And so we were talking about how do you get from manic to momentous yesterday. And so I talked about a habit and a framework that I use called the Core Four, and I'm going to share a little bit more about it. I got an amazing book here, Warrior Core Four, and one of the things we do in the Core Four is we did talk yesterday about our body. Spend some time on that. So if you missed that, go back, catch up. I love to have you follow along here, but I'm going to talk a little bit about our what I call our being. That's kind of where we get centered, yeah, spiritually, emotionally. We talked about the physical side yesterday. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this aspect of getting in power every day. So, how do you start powerfully every day? And one way that I look and do this is through active breathing, meditation. Sometimes people are like, woo woo, meditation. I was there too. um, but I found power in breathing and doing breath work um, that I wasn't always aware of. And today, that's actually become more, I would say, commonplace, but certainly I see it popping up in more places. I have a Fitbit here that helps me, and there's great apps like Calm, the Pause app, Abide. There's a lot of different ones out there that help you. Again, we talked yesterday about centering your mind and getting clear. Well, this practice could be done in the morning. Could also be done a little later in the day. Actually, I do both sometimes, and oftentimes, actually, later in the day can be more powerful or just as powerful. So when I talk about the core four, we talked the domain of body yesterday. I'm talking about what I call being or your spiritual walk, whatever that is for you. For me, I'm a believer of God, and I believe that God works through us and provides us opportunities to center ourselves, be calm, be collect our thoughts. And so part of this idea is identifying this time of resetting and cleansing us, if you will, through the act of meditation. I'd love to hear if you meditate, give me a thumbs up or put a comment in that if you do, or give me your feedback. Or if you don't and you think, hey, I think that's a bunch of hogwash. I don't believe in it. I think it's crazy. Let me know too. I don't always want to. No, I don't want to just hear agreement. I like people that challenge and collide with me and can speak truth in love. So you don't have to agree with me. That's totally fine. I'd love to hear your thoughts here. Um, but going through and this idea of just cleansing your mind. There's a temptation for me to get out of bed and just pull up my phone, start scrolling and getting in there. I purposely take time just to breathe. I do a prayer, Lord's Prayer for me, and breathing each morning. So it just calms my mind and gets me centered. And my mind is really racing, and I'm going. It's almost more the time that I need to slow down, and that sometimes is in the afternoon. um, I'll be in next week. I'll be in Warrior Council with a bunch of other trainers, and we'll have lunch and we'll have meditation typically in the afternoon, right after lunch, as a way of just kind of calming ourselves, getting recentered and refocused. So I wanted to share that with you. One of two things that we do here in the Core Four, and this is part of the training program, and this is what I do. Like I showed you guys yesterday, it's important because I go through and I actually track myself. And I was literally talking with this other trainers today. But if I'm not going through and updating it, I can see, for example, I'll show you mine right now. There's areas there which I still haven't done some memoirs. I've done my meditation and done my fitness and fuel. I want to do a little bit more in gratitude below there, which I'll talk about tomorrow. But this idea of going in, cleansing, having a meditation, and getting settled there. And there's all different types of meditations I mentioned earlier, apps and other things, which I'm happy to get deeper into. Or if you like a favorite meditation or source or whatnot, drop it in the chat here. Let me know what that is for you. The second one, which I say is even more powerful, honestly, is this act of memoirs or journaling. And if you've never actively journaled, um, I'm just telling you, you're missing out on an amazing practice and habit that can really serve you well. Oftentimes we say, well, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for meditation. I don't have time to write down my thoughts and contemplate them. Well, I'm telling you, you if you do it, you actually have more time. It's counterintuitive. However, I have found when I slow down and I take the time to do that, it gets me more clarity in where I need to be focusing my time and my effort. And so this idea of your memoirs or journal, and again, I use a tool called the Stack app. And so in that tool, I can go into the app and literally just hit a stack and pick. There's all kinds here that I can focus in on. You guys can kind of see that there. But am I angry? Am I yeah, you can kind of see that a little bit there. But anyways, pick what makes sense to you. And I almost always daily I'll do a discover stack. That's what am I learning about books I'm reading. Honestly, I look at my own content and the things I'm putting out there. What does it resonate? What worked? What didn't work? And so I'm looking for insight. I'm looking for what do I have a story about? And what is that telling me about myself? So it's honestly time to be quiet. It's time to reflect. It's time you can include meditation in that process, but journaling your thoughts, getting them out. I really like the stack process because it's an iterative experience where it's question and answer, and it's all through the app here that I use. But it's this exploratory process to get better understanding of my feelings, what's motivating me or discouraging me, where I'm off, and oftentimes the stacks can be, can be short, 10, 15 minutes, but oftentimes it can be 30 minutes, 40 minutes, can be an hour if it's really intense and you've got a lot of emotions about it. This is such the powerful tool. I kind of call it like almost a sword. It is probably one of the most powerful, potent weapons that I use in the coaching program and use for myself, candidly. And I like to be able to go through it. And what I like about the app, particularly, is I can actually share that with others. But the idea is, and you're going to hear about this on one of the podcasts too. Intelligent Human Leadership, by the way, will release another episode tomorrow, talking about your desired story that's coming up in a future episode. So I'm just going to tease that there. If you're not listening, please do check it out. Intelligent Human Leadership podcast. But nonetheless, the idea of coupling your meditation with this stacking component, and we're layering these habits together. It puts you in such power and clarity. It's something that's helped me tremendously, particularly when things were tougher in my marriage. I went through a lot of effort going through this stacking tool. Um, and this stacking tool, it's really great to do in the morning, but honestly, you can do it anytime during the day. It's helpful for you to journal. So if you're getting just again, much like we talked about earlier, meditation to clear your mind, journaling is another way to do that. Your memoirs is another way. Are you processing? Are you getting through that? Are you getting clear and able to calm yourself through this process of like what are the emotions that you're facing? What are the things going on? What's your current story? What's your current reality? It's basing the facts, or so some people like to say, my truth. I like to say my facts. I think that's more accurate. What are the facts of the situation that I find myself in? And going through a process, an iteration of then coming up with, okay, well, this is the story, this is the understanding where I'm at right now, and starting to peel back kind of the onion, the layers of an onion, if you will, to then expose the reality of the situation, and am I living in integrity? What lies am I telling you? So yeah, I have the I have a fundamental book that I talk about, the core four here, but we also have a fundamental code that we live by that in my coaching program, and then anyone comes in there that we want to not want to, we stop lying and we want to and we tell the truth. Now I say we want to because the reality is we're both Satan center. We're telling the truth on one end and we're lying on another end. The idea of a stacking tool is it's breaking down the lies, hopefully, and we're peeling them back and we're getting clear and we're understanding like who we really are. Where are we at right now? if you can do this every day, there's so much power that you can get, especially if you do this earlier in the day, because you've gone through this exposure process. You've gone through this place of letting go. You've gone through this place of burnout, perhaps. Um, and we're getting you this place of being truly free, where then you can become all that you need to be in today and for the situation, for the people that you get to encounter and serve and love. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that awesome that you can be in that place? Well, I found a process. There's obviously different ways you can probably do this. This isn't the only way, and I'm not telling you this is it the only way. I'm just telling you this is a way. It has worked for me, and it's something that I include in the coaching that I do because it's powerful, and I want to get people free. I want to get people unstuck. So the reason I'm coming and sharing this with you tonight is I want to show you the layers and the tools that work. And if it resonates with you and you're like, man, that David sounds great. I know I could use this and apply it. And you can see how I apply it in my life. I share it with you very transparently here, but also much more in depth in the coaching program that I run, Steward Yourself through Steward Your Business, is that you can share these stacks, you can look at them, you can peel them back, and then get clarity as to really where you're at in this. And I love that. I do this with others individuals. We look at them daily, weekly, and it shows the progress we're making or where we're getting stuck. The idea in all this stacking, what I really like about it is as we go through this process of self discovery and understanding, ultimately leads us to a revelation and in a new story that we construct that is much serves us much better and empowers us to do the work required today. And it also identifies to us, hopefully, at the end of the stack, what is the action item that you're taking or actions that you're going to take now that you've had this experience and you've learned it. It's one thing to be inspired or be motivated, right? We've all had those moments where we feel excited. It's another thing to actually put it into action, to do something that has come into your life. What are you going to do with that's been given to you? So the idea of meditation and stacking, linking those together, and like we talked about yesterday, and putting that on top of the activities we did for body, meaning your movement and your fuel. And we're going to get into what I call balance and your business. We'll talk a little bit more about that this week as well, as we talk about the overall core four and we bring these domains together. This gets you in so much of a powerful state that when you walk in a room or when you get out there and you've done this work, I'm telling you, it's radical compared to most of the people in the world that might have fueled themselves up. Maybe they exercise, but do they do all of these things? I'm telling you, once you combine them, it's like additive. So it's one thing by itself, right? But when you put it together, it's much more impactful. That's what we do in the core four, and once we do the coaching program, which we track and we understand how we can be there in a powerful way. So I appreciate you guys just jumping on with me tonight as I share this framework and understanding. If we learn this, and this is just one of the tools, but learn this core four and we live it, I'm telling you, the radical transformation that you can have in life is amazing. And this is what I'm so passionate about. Steward Yourself, the program, so that way we bring people in so that they can actually become this person and be truly free and get rid of all the gunk and the fluff that's hovering around us that we know needs to get excised out of our lives so that we can truly be the purest, most beautiful version of ourselves, if you will. And so I appreciate you guys just jumping on here tonight. Drop in your ideas, your thoughts. I love to hear what you think about meditation. I love to hear about what you do for journaling, writing. What is there one that you like using? I have, like I said, I use the Stack tool, the app. That's one of my main ones I use. I do pen to paper too. That's also helpful. And but I'd love to hear what you guys think. So drop your comments in here. And again, thanks for following and listening on to the end of this. If those of you are still on, um, message me if you have a question about this. Intelligent Human Leadership Podcast is coming out this week, tomorrow, Wednesday. Go take a look, find it in any one of your favorite podcasting platforms. I'd love to have your feedback on that. And then, yeah, you guys have an amazing rest of your night. All right. I'll talk to you later. Take care, guys. Bye.